Hello, now you should be able to hear me. I just switched things around from the craft stream. My microphone had to be plugged in into a different spot, so that is why it wasn't working. But now it should be. Hello, hello, everybody. How are you? We are back to the usual antics. Something that's wrong on my end. No, I forgot. OBS has this weird thing where if you change the port that your device is plugged into, it stops recognizing that it's there. Hey Gina, hey Roaming Witch, how's it going? So I just had to remind it that device is still plugged in. And now it works, and now it's great. Just a heads up, we currently have a guy in our house working on our furnace. It's just like a routine checkup, so it shouldn't be any big deal. But if I have to suddenly pop out for a couple of minutes just to get a report from Ghost Pepper, you guys don't panic. It should only be a couple minutes, and then hopefully everything will be fine. Need to figure out my own sound issues so I can stream again. Yeah, well, if you ever need help, Exiled Fae, let us know, because Ghost Pepper's really good at helping people get OBS stuff set up. He set up all my stuff, and when I have an issue, I'm like, Ghost Pepper, I need you! Today, we are actually going to be building a book cover. So it is time to do the second cover, the second Everyone's Child cover. I know it says Everyone's Child 3, but I'm not going to change it for just one stream. I know what elements I want to have on this cover, but I'm not entirely sure. Last time when we tried to do the cover, it didn't initially work out the way I sort of wanted it to. But this time I'm looking for this sort of really deserty, sand dune type texture. I kind of like the shape of this one, but the color of this one. These are a few of my favorite things. Cool. How did I know that? So we're looking for not this kind of like cracked desert, but this sort of very duney type desert for the background. And basically I'm gonna try just getting the first couple elements, that might actually work really well. The first couple elements laid down so that we can get the text laid out and everything. Because sometimes what happens is, like I said, I really like the colors of this one. Sometimes what happens is you get the background image that you want to use set up, and we kind of saw this with the Eternity's Empire covers too, but then you can't read the text over it. So we just want to make sure that we're able to read everything as we go. And since we already have the text layout, good to go. It's good to get that in right away. So this site that I'm using here for anyone, I'm just jumping into it today. So how was everybody's weekend, by the way? I'm on all cylinders today because I ended up waking up early and just going to the blood clinic. So I'm just going to hop right into things today. But of course, we can chat as we go, so it doesn't have to be as structured as usual. This is I kind of like that one. This is a free site here, Pixabay, royalty free. So anything that you find on Pixabay, you can use commercially without having to pay for. You want to be really careful. If you see up in this corner right here, this is saying it's editor's choice. If you're trying to avoid AI generated images, I don't see any on here, which is good because we don't want to use them. But they'll have a little robot head in the corner if they're AI generated, so that you can, if you don't want to use anything AI generated, you can avoid it. And then Unfortunately, this site doesn't have that kind of handy mark, I don't think. This is Deposit Photos. This site costs money, so you have to pay a photo credit to buy something off of here. The benefit of that is that the stock photographers that use this site get paid for what you use. Again, you can use anything that you purchase off of here commercially. Once you spend a credit on something, you can always come back and re-download it later. But you do have to pay an upfront cost. If you're looking to use Deposit Photos, I highly recommend. There's a deal that comes around I think about twice a year. It usually happens around Black Friday, and there'll probably be another one in April, May-ish, where you can buy through a third party 50 photo credits for pretty cheap, and they never expire. So if you want to use this site, I always check Pixabay first and see if I can find something I want through there, just because it's cheaper, and then I save my photo credits. But I want to just do a quick check here to make sure that there's nothing better, like ultra better, because the quality on Deposit Photos does tend to be slightly higher. Like, that's a really cool image if we were going for like a post-apocalyptic sort of thing. This one is really good too, although this is 3D rendered. It's not actually a photo. So, and then you just have to be careful if you're looking for, if you're looking to avoid using AI generated photos, you kind of have to check the tags on here. Here they've kind of learned to mark them, and here you kind of just need to check the tags. I want to look at this. The nice thing about Deposit Photos is when you open an image, it will give you similar images on the side. But I do think we're probably gonna go for oops, rather than that one. We might try this one. I really like this one. I really like the colors on it. We could also try this one, which has the contrast, the blue, the dark blue, and the light sand. I don't know which is going to end up working better, because I have other images, obviously, that I want to put into this. So we'll have to see. This actually looks like a mirrored version of this, so this may be a photo, and this may have already been a manipulated version of this photo. Reading The Garden of Rama. I'd heard the last book in the series is HS. What is... Oh, I've heard the last book in the series in high school, and I don't remember even how I made sense of it back then. So I'm reading the series now, and boy is it dated, but interesting and weird. Oh! Is The Garden of Rama the name of this series? What's it about, Exiled Fae? It sounds... I'm always interested in things that, like, have aged interestingly. See all comments about Dune. This is a good one too, although I don't know the contrast in the sky and I need something really sandy. I wonder if this one would work. One thing you want to keep in mind, something that I've kind of been taught by other artists, is that when you are creating a cover, you want to be careful that you don't center all of your stuff visually, because if everything is in the center, it actually looks uncanny. So we might want to try this one. Just because it has that like off-centering to it, built into it. I have a feeling... Whoops. I have a feeling I do really like some of the images on here, but I have a feeling it might behoove us to use the free images. For what I have in mind, I actually think this might work really well. Trying to imagine. So let's try this one. What? Book 2. Ah, Arthur C. Clarke. Okay. The Garden of Rama? Let me look it up. Oh, it's sci-fi. Okay. By the 23rd century, Earth has already had 2 encounters with massive, mysterious robotic spacecraft from beyond our solar system. The incontestable proof of an alien technology that far exceeds our own. Now 3 human cosmonauts, not 300. Wow, I need more coffee. Now 3 human cosmonauts are trapped aboard a labyrinthine Raman vessel, where it will take all of their physical and mental resources to survive. Only 12 years into their journey do these intrepid travelers learn their destination and face their ultimate challenge, a rendezvous with the Raman base and the unseen architects of their galactic home. The cosmonauts have given up family, friends, and possessions to live a new kind of life, but the answers that await them at the Raman node, so hard not to read that as Ramen, will require an even greater sacrifice if humanity is indeed ready to learn the awe-inspiring truth. Interesting. Oh, and that's like a book too, I guess. Rama 2? Weird that a book 1 is potentially called... Oh no, Rendezvous with Rama is the first one, okay. I was like, is it book 2 called Rama 2? An enormous cylindrical object has entered Earth's solar system on a collision course with the sun. A team of astronauts are sent to explore the mysterious craft, which the denizens of the solar system name Rama. What they find is astonishing evidence of a civilization far more advanced than ours. They find an interior stretching over 50 kilometers, a forbidding cylindrical sea, mysterious and inaccessible buildings, and strange machine-animal hybrids or biots that inhabit the ship. But what they don't find is an alien presence. Often listed as one of Clarke's finest novels, Rendezvous with Rama won numerous awards, blah, blah, blah. Interesting. Very, very heavy Star Trek vibes. Rendezvous with Rama is the first. I heard... Thank you for telling me. I heard that Denis Villeneuve wants to do it. Interesting. Well, if he has a lot of success... He's the one doing the Dune movies, right? If he has a lot of success with Dune, it would be a good next project. You can follow your favorite authors on Amazon. You absolutely can. Not that I'm anyone's favorite author, but you can follow me on Amazon as well if you want to be notified of my releases. This isn't where I needed to go. I went on autopilot. Okay, and the other thing we need to grab is an hourglass. Oh, Gina, thank you so much for following me. I appreciate that. Let's see. So I did some poking around with the hourglass pictures to find sort of what I want to use for this. And there are a lot of options. And I think I'm basically gonna go with this one, but we're gonna go with one. There's a, I'm tempted to use this one, but because I'm gonna replace what's inside the hourglass, I don't think it'll work as well. So, and I was tempted also by this one, because it already has a lot of the sand on it, but we're gonna try this one, because it already has the clear background, and that should make it a little bit easier to manipulate in the way that we want to manipulate it. So I'm basically gonna pop open, it's still called Book 1 Test. This is the cover that we made for the first book. And like I said, we're gonna use the same text layout and the same concept. So we're going to have an image of a landscape, and then we're going to have something that can serve as sort of like a gateway into viewing another space. This time we just kind of used the natural opening in the rock to sort of peer into the other space. And in this case, we're going to add something in. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. All right. So let me just check the image size. We are at 2000 by 3000. So we're going to do a new 2000 by 3000. I'm just going to lean out of frame for a second to blow my nose because sneeze messed me up. So you said you originally read that in high school, Exiled Fae? Was that like a we read it for class kind of thing? Or was that a I read it because I wanted to kind of thing? If you want to answer, don't have to. What is this song? Don't understand the, like, I'm just gonna make a song that's all foghorns. I came across Rama Revealed and didn't realize it was part of a series. I just read it, barely remember, so I'm waiting to get to it again and see how it fits. Oh, interesting. Very cool. I have gone back to read a bunch of stuff that I first encountered in high school, and it's been interesting, to say the least. So we're basically gonna smack this down. And we're gonna copy over our text and see how it looks. Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. And so I don't know if this is like how my cover artist does it when she makes my series. But I like to do this, and I basically just copy the text from the previous book onto the new book. Flanny, hello, hello, how's it going? Flanny, have you ever thought about the fact that centaurs have 2 rib cages? Hang on, I just gotta try and anchor this. This is gonna fall. I don't know what's happening. Hang on. Do you think fish get cramps from swimming after eating? Apparently it's a myth. Apparently if you swim after you eat, it doesn't do anything. Hey, the mad lad. How's it going? Let me try to sort of wrap this around like that so that it's stuck in my headphones and it won't come down. Hopefully that's anchored a little bit better. Boop. I wonder if the furnace people are still here. I told Ghost to let me know when they left, but he hasn't notified me yet. I'm doing pretty good. As you can see, we're getting ready. I have to hold my head a certain way now, so this is going to be very interesting. If I don't want to have hat falling in my face. So yeah, this is basically, I actually really like how that looks so far. Hopefully putting the hourglass into it won't ruin it. But now we just have to change it to the actual title. So remember, this is one of those things where you can see it has different okay, it doesn't seem like that one has a ton of them. I'm gonna have to change the... I'm gonna have to change the spacing, obviously. And we might have to change the size. Oops. Because each one isn't one word. So, obviously we need to fix the spacing now. Thank you for clipping that, Flanny. The Mad Lad, cheers to the hydrate. How's it going for you all? How are you all doing? So, I think what we need to do is put this down to... What? What is happening? I think I like that. It's taking up pretty much the whole top. I like that A, but it doesn't... And now we need to fix the bottom one. So I made this one. So let's try making this. I also have to like hold the hat up every time I just put this over here. Doesn't quite fit, although I do kind of like having the curl around. Tal, hello, how's it going? How did I line it up? I do kind of like having the curly cues go around each other like that. I do kind of like that. So let's save as. Alright. Couldn't sleep, figured I'd just get up. Oh no, that happened to me last night too. Although I did not get up at 4:45. I got up at like 7:30 and I went to the blood clinic. So I was like, I have to go up to the blood clinic this week anyway, and I might as well like get up early, or I might as well get up and go when I'm already up early versus getting up early another day. So here we are. So I like the look of this so far. It's very readable. It matches sort of the text layout of the first book pretty well. Now we have to start adding stuff to it, which is where things are gonna get difficult. So for anyone who has read the Everyone's Child series, all one book of it so far, or who was around when we were sort of planning it out, the hourglass is a very important part. Why does it have that weird... Oh, it has a shadow. Okay, we can just erase that. The hourglass is a very important part of the book. And it's nice that this comes essentially pre-transparent, because I can move it, as you can see, I can kind of move it anywhere. I have to put the text layers on top of it. We can essentially put it anywhere, and the background changes depending on essentially where it goes. So what I want to do is I might actually hang on, because the shadow, I think, is going in the wrong direction. I'm mostly going to get rid of that, but just in case, we're going to flip it on the horizontal so that the shadow is going that way. And then I basically kind of want to tilt the hourglass sort of like that. And we want to make it bigger, because we're going to put... kind of like in the other book, we're gonna put something else inside of it. And because we have this nice wide base here for this sand dune, we can actually kind of get away with making it quite large. Now again, I'm trying to keep it a bit off center because you don't want things to be too on center. But what I might actually do as well is move this a bit. So that we don't have quite as much empty space in the frame. Oops. And then we can move this over a tad. So that visually we're taking up more of the space. Now in here we also had this, like, we had like the embers with the runes. What I could do is I could have like sand blowing through this area to sort of fill up that space. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. This doesn't look too bad so far, keeping in mind that we haven't done any of our blending effects just yet. What do we think of that? I think that looks pretty good. And we can move it down a little bit more so that it is not too much behind. Like, I can make it less behind the words. I can make it more behind the words. And then we can basically just go in here. And you see, you might not be able to see it on stream, but there's some, there's some hard edges here, to the shadow, and I can just basically go in and get rid of that. sort of do this to soften this up. I don't know if I like how that looks, but let's fiddle with our opacity here. Can actually just kind of take those shadows down a peg. And then just smudge this a bit more. And there we go. That looks pretty decently natural to me, especially if we zoom back out. And there we go. We just got some soft shadows in there. And I might want to try to put a little bit of sand around the base at some point, but that looks pretty decent to me. It doesn't really look pasted in all that much. So I'm actually pretty decently happy with this so far. The tricky part is, so if you remember this, where we put the other image coming out sort of the back. So the tricky part is going to be that I basically want to take the inside of the hourglass and make that look like a different landscape. So that's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. But as far as the base goes, I think this is a really good base. I can expand the hourglass a little bit if I want to. I don't know how big I really want the hourglass to be. But we do want to have enough space. So I can basically Control Z that. We want to have enough space that we can put another landscape in the back, essentially. Kind of actually like that. Because it kind of almost looks like the title is sitting on top of it. So let's try it. French Toast Okay! Hello, hello! How's it going? Thank you for the hydrate! How are you? Enjoy your lurk. I'm going to pop... I might pop AFK. Just this went together really well. I might... Oh, now I've got to extract the hat from my head. I had to like wrap it in my headphones to keep it standing on my head. I'm just gonna pop AFK and see how things are going with the furnace to see, and also to reheat my coffee quick. Because this came together really well. I'm actually really happy with this, and we're about to start the tough part. So I'm gonna pop AFK just for a minute here and see how things are going, and then when I get back... Oh my goodness. I'm knocking everything down. This cute little guy. My husband got this Story of Seasons thing, this like special Story of Seasons thing, and he gave me this little guy who came with it, and he sits on my desk, and he's nice and fuzzy. I get all the cute things, essentially. Also, I think this was a gift from a student, and I nabbed that. Pi, you're just in time. I'm about to go reheat my coffee, and as soon as I do that, we're going to do all of those hydrates with fresh, hot coffee. Oh my god, Pi. 8? 8? How are you today, Pi? But anyway, I think this is a gift from a student. And my husband basically, like, it lights up, by the way. I don't even know if you can tell, but it lights up. My husband got this in the door, like in the box, in the door, and I was like, do you want that? And he was like, I don't care. And I was like, yoink! It's mine! So I've got that sits right next to my turret from Portal. Are you still there? So there you go. That's some of the tiny stuff that sits on my desk right behind me. Megan be like, is for me? Kind of. Because he was like, a lot of the stuff that he gets from his students, he just can't, because he doesn't always have a classroom, so he can't always keep it. And he doesn't like to put stuff on his desk at home. Like, I have this shelving space behind me and a little bit, you kind of can't see it, but a little bit in front of me where Domerin is. Like, Domerin and Snake are back there. And so, like, I have the shelf space and I put things there. But Ghost doesn't really have that. Hey, Janine, how's it going? So when he gets stuff that's like desk stuff, also you can kind of see my letter opener up there. And he gets that kind of stuff, he brings it home, but he doesn't take it down to his stream area because he doesn't have like a spot like this where he can just put a bunch of stuff. So some of it I kind of yoink. He gave me this guy because he didn't want, like, the cute little thing that came. He just wanted the game. So I was like, can I have the plushie? And he was like, yes. Take it. And I was like, okay, mine now. I don't even know, like, what character that's supposed to be. I've not played Story of Seasons. But he was like, yeah, just have it. So I have it. But yeah, so sometimes when he gets stuff from students, that's like, I don't have anywhere to put this. I'm just like, I do. It's mine now. And then that's how I acquired a Enterprise, original style Enterprise for my desk that lights up. It's going well here, Janine. We're getting the layout for this cover started. I'm actually surprised that in like 45 minutes worth of work, we actually have, because I was really worried about getting this hourglass on there and how that's going to look. The next part I think is going to be really hard, because we have to go back to some of our stock photos, and I want to look for, maybe, I didn't try this particular search yet, but I want something, I want like Forest Gloom, something like this, something like Spooky Forest, something like this, maybe, like a creepy, foggy forest type thing. That one kind of looks AI generated, but is really kind of the vibe that I'm going for. And then we're basically gonna try and get the portion inside the hourglass. We're gonna try to get that to look like a different landscape, kind of like this does. So this is gonna be the most challenging part. Oh, I see. That's a photo edit of that. Interesting. But the first trick is gonna be to find an image that I feel has the right vibe. And then the second trick is gonna be to integrate it into the image The other one is Forest Fog. Maybe. I like something like this. I don't know if it's foresty enough. And I have to be careful about the light source being in there. I really like this one, but it's not super foggy. I can't find my notes for some chapter rewrites I thought I wrote. Good news is that I remember almost all of it. Well, that's good. I have also done that thing where I'm like, I'm sure I wrote this message, sent this email, took notes about this thing, and then I go to find it and I'm like, I either put it somewhere that I'm never going to find it again. I wonder if I could make this work. I either put it somewhere that I'm never going to find it again, or I never actually wrote it down and I just thought really hard about it and then was like, oops. So I 100% get that, but it's good that you remember most of what you wanted to write down. See, I really like, this one might work a little better because I want something that doesn't really have pathways or roadways in it. This could work too, although it's really washed out of color. Because I just want something that feels like a really gloomy forest. I worry about these ones that have the sun like directly in them. We can also always pop over to we can always pop over to the other side and look as well. And I can fiddle a little bit with the colors if we need to. I haven't fiddled with but you see how this looks very like illustration-y. I haven't fiddled with this one yet. I can go in and sort of soften up the lines and make this look a little bit more illustrated when I'm happy with it. But we can also go here and do like, and try like a spooky forest kind of thing. So like instantly this one is kind of more the vibe I'm going for. Something like this or something like this. Or something like this. So it might be worth using a photo credit to grab something. I just have to be careful because it's going to be hard to test. Ooh, that one's really, really close to what I'm looking for. So I just have to be careful because if I spend a photo credit on an image, then we're locked into that image and making that image work. So I just have to be really certain before I hit go that I wanna actually use that image. So I'm gonna take a quick break. Like I said, I think it's actually, I might be able to get my steps in now because I waited a few extra minutes. So I'm gonna check on the furnace situation. I'm gonna reheat my coffee, and then we're gonna come back and do, I believe we have 8 hydrates. 8 hydrates for pie that we will do when the coffee is hot, and I will be Sorry, my friends. I know that was a bit of a longer break, but we had a guy in to look at our furnace today. Just routine checkup, just evaluating how everything's working down there, and he was giving us his report. He was very thorough. So just needed a minute to see what was what. For now, we don't think anything particularly needs to be imminently replaced, which is nice. And also Ghost Pepper says hello. He is making himself a brunch in the kitchen now that the furnace guy is gone. We've got 8 hydrates to do. We're going to start with 4 fresh piping hot coffee. Well, not fresh coffee, but piping hot. It's the same coffee from before, just reheated. Caramel coffee. A 1. A 2. A 3. A 4. Or give my tongue a break, because the coffee is very hot. So looking at the options that we have to work with, I really want some, like, I think we can close that, because I'm pretty happy with what we've got, for the dunes. I really want, like, some gnarled looking trees. And we do have a lot of options here. Let's open this one. Let's open a couple of these and see, like, what the similar images are. This one is obviously an illustration. I really like this one. See, I'd love something like this if it was, like, fuller. This one is also not quite what I'm going for, but very interesting. So if we look at here, like I said, the nice thing about deposit photos is it will show a bunch of images that are very similar along the side. So like this might be worth looking at. And then also down at the bottom, it will show the same series. So if there's a photo by the same photographer that is similar in composition to what you're looking at, it will show down here. And then you can click on, like, I can go see more, and I can basically see this entire photo series. Which you can clearly tell that some of these are, like, the same, but they've just been manipulated to have different effects on them. And so I really just want... I like this one because it has the gnarly trees. Now this one definitely looks like it. Some of these branches have been painted on, which is okay. I do potentially really like this one. Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna use that one. think this might be our most... This one and this one might be our best bets. For what our purposes are. I like the fog in these ones, but you only get like the trunk of the tree, and I really want some branches to be in there. This one is interesting. But that might be a little too spread out as well. So I really like this one. I really like this one. Just looking at some of the similar... We've got a lot of overlap here. Let me open it in a new tab. I like that, but it's a little too undefined, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, we still have to do 4 more pie traits for pie. A 1. A 2. A 3. And a 4. 8 hydrates for pie, aka hydrates. I don't know if I wanted to close that. I kind of like that vibe, but I don't want the snow. I'm interested in this one. I'm spending a lot more time. I know for like the other 2 images, we were like, yeah, let's just grab this and go. But for this one, I'm spending a bit more time because if I'm gonna buy a stock photo, I want to make sure that it's absolutely the one that I want to go to. I'm very interested in this one. Now I could grab a low quality one of these and just kind of test it first if I needed to. I think I'm kind of down to this one or this one. Ooh, I really like that one. I really like that one too. I like the background bits of this. Now this one I think is, oh no, that's an illustration too. I was gonna say these are slightly modified already, so we're not getting just a photo with some of these. So one other thing I want to check is I really wanted to get like a witch's hut in there, but I don't think I'm gonna find... I don't think I'm gonna find what I wanted. Hey, Angel Faye, how's it going? What if I do... Oh, what if I do... This is kind of the closest to what I want. I really want like a hut in a tree kind of thing. It's the one aspect of this cover that I think I might have to let go of. Now, these are probably, looking at these on the side here, most of these are probably AI generated. They aren't what I'm looking for anyway, but if they were what I was looking for, I would be hesitant to use them because they look... In fact, a lot of this looks AI generated. Finished draft 2, nice! We are just looking for, so we are working on this cover currently. And in this cover, we had sort of the landscape, we had the like opening in the rock looking into another landscape. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the inside of the hourglass, hopefully, and make it look like a different scene. And so currently... I mean, theoretically, I could use this as the cover, and it would be, I wouldn't be sad about it. This came together pretty quickly. But we're just trying to, because I'm potentially going to use a photo credit, I'm just trying to make sure that I have, like, absolutely the picture I want to use. And so we're basically just trying to narrow down... what we're gonna use for this last stock photo. I really like this. I worry that it's spread out a bit too much because we only have the space inside the hourglass to use. And I really like this one. So I think I'm down to these two. And like I said, what I can do... The Terrible Novelist, thank you so much for the raid! Welcome in! What I can do is just grab a low-res version of one of these to test with. I'm doing pretty good. I didn't have to get up early this morning. I woke up early this morning, so I went over to the blood clinic, got, I needed to get a blood draw done this week anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm awake, I'm just gonna go do it. And then we had a furnace guy come over and just take a look at, how our furnace is functioning and all that, so that'll be something to process after stream. But now we are working on a cover. Hey, Steven Stuff. How was your stream, Terrible Novelist? How did it go? Draft 1, which I wrote in Nano, had 50,039 words. Draft 2 finished with 57,877. That's awesome! Also, Conquest, hello, hello. Just use Liquify brush. I don't know if I have a Liquify brush. Disclaimer, I'm using a very old version of Photoshop. But if you tell me how to find the Liquify brush, I will look for it. Everything is good so far in my world today. How's it going for you? And the Mad Lad, I seem to think the Mad Lad popped in a while ago and I didn't... Oh, that was like forever ago. Time has just melted together. I think I have enough examples, sub-scenes in my chapter that all I need to do is line them up and polish the rose. Awesome! Nice! It's good when it comes together. Things just go in my world. Hey, big mood. It's possible I just don't know which one the liquify brush is. So, you know. I'm actually not that good at Photoshop, despite what this might convince you. John, is it John Alick? Please let me know if I said your name wrong. Thank you very much and welcome in. You take the whole fruit brush and combine it with the blender brush. John A. Lich, I see. Thank you for separating it out in a way that my brain can process. I'm horrible with names, especially if it's like a bunch of words all in one. Says the one whose name is Starborn to Striker. John's a lich, it all makes sense. So yeah, what I might do is grab one of these. It's gonna still have the, let me log in. Let me remember my password. Third time lucky. So what I'll basically just do is I'll grab this one with the, so it's still going to have the watermark on it because we don't know for sure if we're going to use it. And this will be a really low quality version of the image, but it'll just give us some idea as to whether or not it will work. And I'm just going to do a really sort of rough edit of this here. And then if it kind of looks the way we want it to look, my main worry is that, like I said, we only kind of have the portion of the hourglass that's like inside, and I worry that trying to fit the interesting part of the image inside of it might be difficult. Can also change the blend mode on this potentially, partially. Because you can see, like, only this much of the image is going to show. So I wonder... if that's enough. Or I guess I could do it two separate. Like, I could do part of the forest there and part of the forest there. Let me see. Let me see if I use the other one, how much... Obviously, this looks really garbage right now, but because I'm still using the ones with the watermark just to test, I think I might have to grab from like 2 separate areas of it, because otherwise we're gonna end up with a bunch of ground in the background. But yeah, what I can do is potentially... I can also tilt it. If I wanted to, I could tilt it so that the trees are moving in the same direction of the hourglass. And if I again just do the just to see how much of it gets in there. I kind of feel like either of these would work equally well, in all honesty. That one might have more... These are really spread out at the base, and these are more compact. So that one might work better just because it's more compact. But I could move where I'm doing on that image too. I really feel like either of them will work. Which is both good and bad because it means I have to pick which one I like better. We're going to be trying to put it right now. I'm just kind of looking at how much of the image I can use, because I can't, when we did the background of the desert, I just grabbed from a free site, but I have to spend money on one of these pictures. So right now I'm basically trying to determine what image I want to buy. Must step away and call a friend, but you enjoy looks like a nice cover. Thank you so much, the terrible novelist. I almost said the terrible knowledgeist. Thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate it. Hope the call goes well, and thank you so much. I'm basically just trying to decide what image to spend money on. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Which one is this, actually? This is the second one. Is it the second one or the first one? This is the second one, actually. And I was looking at this part of the image. Interesting. Sort of that part versus... Yeah, I just think that one is too spread out. So let's go with the second one. Let's go with the one that's denser. So I'm gonna buy this one. I really like the shape of the trees in the first one, but I think they're too spread out. I like them both, Angel Faye. Honestly, I like them both. I just don't want to buy them both. I only want to buy... I mean, I have a bunch of photo credits, but I only want to buy... I would prefer to only buy one of them. I guess I could try this one, too. We didn't really look at this one, but I don't like the necessarily the shapes as much. I think we're going to go with this one. So let's download that one, spend the credit on it. We get an absolutely massive version of it now, which is going to be much, much easier to work with. So now we can see, this is, if I go actual pixels, this is actually just freaking huge. All right. So I'm going to take that. And now, whoops, it's actually, it's actually bigger than the rest of our cover. But I'm basically just gonna try and get, as much of that inside the hourglass as I can. So I'm gonna try to position it, where I want it. It's not gonna look like this. Bear with me. It's gonna look really, really weird for a while I'm just getting things sort of where I want them. And what I might do is tilt the image so that the direction that the forest is going matches what's happening with the hourglass. And I think I'm going to aim to get sort of this portion here in there. I kind of like the idea of making that tree fit in there. But there's also this over here. Can't turn off the thing while I'm fucking with it, which is annoying. So that will work pretty well there, and that will work pretty well too. Although I don't know that I like having the massive base of the tree in there, so I might use this position. And I'm trying to line up part of the twist like into the hourglass there. So now I'm gonna start erasing so to make sure it's where I want it. Thank you, Gina. I would have better memory for my PC. I create another cover. No, I'm good, Angel Faye. I will be happy with this cover when it's finished, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sorry to hear that you need more memory for your PC. I know that feeling, though. The RAM that's in mine was stolen from Ghost Pepper's computer when he upgraded. Stockcake is a good source for free to use photos. That is not one I use, Steven Stuff. Thank you. I will check that out. Be a stick in the mud. It troubles me that the sand in the hourglass doesn't fall vertically. It doesn't matter because you're not going to be able to see the sand at the end. Don't worry, the sand is going to go away. The sand is going to become the forest. It would be a very good detail to worry about if we were going to be seeing that. I might try to make this ever so slightly thinner, because I'm just trying to get that tree sort of in there. So basically, this, if you see how, like, part of the image, like, is melted away to show another part of the image, that's essentially what we're gonna do here. But because I have to erase all the parts of the image that I'm not using, I'm basically trying to position this so that the parts of the image that I want to use, which is essentially this tree here, I'm just trying to position that inside the hourglass, so that once I start cutting away, I don't accidentally cut away any of the image that I want to use, because it's going to be a lot harder to add the image back in. Ghost Peppa, how was breakfast? You'll receive a rate soon from someone that just returned to streaming. Well, we'll have to give them a big welcome then. Bard! Hello! How's it going? How are you? Posted a pic from Stockcake on Discord just in case it's preferable. Well, I already spent money on this picture, so we're using it, but I will look at it. Is it in the photos area? Ooh, that is nice. I don't think it's bad to say this on stream. Just a heads up, Ghost Pepper, Joe is doing a 12-hour stream this Saturday. Just, since you're looking for his availability. So now that I have this mostly positioned, where I want it to be, we're gonna hit save. Because if I screw it up, I can come back to this point. Been applying for jobs all morning. I know how exhausting that can be, Bard. I hope it's going smoothly and going well. We're basically gonna turn... Whoops. Don't erase whatever I just erased. I'm gonna be on this layer. And we're basically gonna start cutting this away. I actually gotta put my opacity all the way back up. Lol. So we're actually just gonna start cutting away this background. To get out what's underneath. But Steven Stuff, I really appreciate you introducing me to Stockcake. I am going to add them to my bookmarks and start checking them out. We did look at a couple of other sites before I decided to do something from Deposit Photos. And I'm basically just revealing the desert underneath. This is the part that I expect to be really tricky. Technically have a job lined up to start April 15th, but it's not great pay and benefits. Yeah, that's fair. The pay for the one I got will barely cover my bare minimum. That sucks. Put the necessary link on Discord. I appreciate that, Steven Stuff. I really appreciate all those kind of resources, because as someone who uses, like, I use stock photos for my blog, as well as for, like, covers and stuff. So I really appreciate having a wide range of use. And it's even tougher now sometimes because I try to avoid using images that are AI generated as well. So in a lot of ways it's harder sometimes to find what I need. So I appreciate having a bunch of different places where I can look. So I'm just going to make sure that I have essentially actually a little bit of what I didn't want to get there. Oh no, I didn't. I have a couple of options for how to handle the inside of the hourglass. You can see how that's essentially hourglass shaped at this point. Now what I could do is I have a couple of options, right? I can start erasing the inside. I can start erasing the inside at a slightly lower opacity and see how that looks. Ghost is still on break this week, yes. And we can see how that looks, or we could try to do, like, so when we do something like the screen, you can see how you see through it. That preserves the sand, though. But I could erase over that. What I am gonna do, just to be safe, is I'm gonna duplicate this layer. All that glitters is pros! Hello, hello! Thank you for the raid! How's it going, my friends? Welcome in! It's good I missed streaming. Well, welcome back to streaming. We're glad to have you. It's good to see you. I figured, Angel Faye. I appreciate it. I appreciate you always bringing people into the stream. We are working on a book cover. This is how far we are so far. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. See, out of that whole big image, that's how much we have of it. Now I can also play with this. Might save that for later. Although it might make it more... Yep. This actually looks fairly decent. I'm actually kind of happy with that. Enjoy your lurk and your snack, Bard. Thank you so much. And thank you, All That Glitters is Pros. I feel my way through every one of these covers, so I'm pretty pleased with how it's going so far. And then what I can do, hopefully, is an extra little bit of this to sort of get rid of the hint of the sand that's there. But then you notice that we've maintained a little bit of the clouding on the glass, right? And if we wanted to, we could put another layer over that, but I don't think we need to. I actually think this looks pretty good. what do we think? I'm pretty happy with how this is going. I'll be honest. I didn't expect it to go this well. I didn't actually expect this to go as well as it has. I must be honest. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking so far. I do wish I could get rid of... You would buy that? Well, thank you, Gina. I appreciate that. I do want to get rid of this line just a little bit... Just a little bit more. To make it, because you can kind of still see the sand line a little bit. So just kind of making it a little bit more... Just trying to get rid of that sort of hard line there. A little bit more. Oops. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty decently happy with that. I feel like it needs some effects. I guess I should just save that one for now. We can delete the extra one later. I'd like to do like some fairy light type things in the... So if we look at this one, I'd like to do some like bright sort of effects in the hourglass, and I also want to do so we have like this wind of embers. I'd like to do like a wind of sand, sort of sweeping like sand particles, and we have to fit the runes in somewhere. So but this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. This is pretty decent. I always worry when I come up with these concepts. I'm like, can I actually pull this off? Can I actually make this happen? This looks pretty decent. It looks like an hourglass in a desert that has a forest inside of it. So it's going pretty well. So let's see if we go back to... Go back here. Now, I had to do... I think if I just do sand, it's going to give me that. Although it wouldn't be the worst to put a little bit of, like, sand along the base of the hourglass. I kind of just want, like... sand particles in the wind. I don't know. This might be a lot of trying to find the right search that actually does what I want it to do. Because this is giving me a lot of like piles of sand, which isn't necessarily what I want. Ooh, that can actually be really... Where was the preview image? Like, that might actually be useful for some of the finishing here. But we kind of want, like, sand in the wind. Something sort of like that. Or... Now that's silver smoke. Sometimes this is the thing with, like, when you want to do... When you want to do something, sometimes you have to spend, like, 6 hours looking for the photos that you want. Going to say sand in the wind. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I figure start with, like, the most generic, like, sand. And then just see... where it goes from there. So I'm thinking this might look good if we plunk it around the base. To make it look like the base is like in the sand instead of on top of the sand. Finishing. And then, let's see, because something like this might work well for the wind effect that I want to create. I want you to be able to see, like, the particles of sand, and I like how this kind of has the particles of sand in it. This might also work. It doesn't look as, like, windswept. And that one doesn't have, like, the particles in it. So here again, what I can do is I can basically grab this. It's gonna have the watermark on it, but I can essentially grab this and test it and see if it does what I want it to do. So I'm basically at the point where I feel like this is pretty much done. It just needs some finishing effects. So what I want to do is, if you look at this, we have some of the glowing runes and we have like the glowing embers that are sort of windswept. So I would like to possibly put some runes like glowing in the background in the forest. And then, or just like some phthalites maybe in the forest somehow. And then I want to take the sort of windswept, sand particles and have them sort of running across the front here. And then we'll put the runes either sort of glowing in the forest or glowing in the sand or something like that. And then potentially, to blend the base a little bit, I might put some sand over the base. But I actually think that I really lucked out on the images that I used, because that looks like it's sitting on the dune to me. It looks like a giant hourglass sitting on the dune. It doesn't look like it needs a ton. It could maybe use a little bit more shadow. Which I could try to do. Gotta get it going in the right direction. Ooh. So if I really, like, if I need to, I can get some more shadow in there. Obviously, I would make it look better. But we can get some more shadow along the dune if we need to. But yeah, so I feel like I'm basically at finishing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break. I promise I will not be gone as long as I was the last time. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I think we're going to take this. I'm just going to take like a low res version of it. And I'm going to try to see if I can test it and see if it does what I want it to do. And if I can make it look the way I want it to look, roughly, then I will buy this stock photo and we'll put that in there. I don't think we're going to get 100% done with this image today. I feel like there's some finishing that I'm gonna have to do off stream. I had to do that with the last cover too. There were some glow effects and like some runes and like blending of the runes that I had to do off stream. Because it's really fiddly work and I won't do it in a concentrated, like I'll just poke away at it at like half an hour at a time in the evenings rather than doing a block chunk of it. But I'm really happy with how this is coming out. It actually looks a lot like what I wanted it to look like. I was worried that there wouldn't be enough of the forest, but really, there's about as much of the forest as there is of the jungle on the first book. So I think it's going really well, and I'm really happy with it. This gives me hope for my next one, because in the next one, I want to do some kind of library. Kiwi uses Twitch. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. For the next one, I want to do like some kind of library with an open book and have the book be like the image that looks on to another place. So we're getting there. The things are going mostly the way that we want them to go. I'm going to take just a quick break here and reheat my coffee, and we'll come back and we'll do some more testing. And honestly, if I can get the wind on there and maybe a couple of fairy lights into the forest, if all I really have to do afterwards is the runes, that would be top notch. I would be really happy with that. I always worry when I schedule these streams that I'm gonna need 2 time slots to actually do a cover, but this one has gone spectacularly well. So I'm really, really happy with it. Thank you, Steven Stuff. I appreciate that. Like, honestly, I have a cover artist who does my Big series. She did, I mean, I think we've shown these on stream before, but just to put it in perspective, like, this is the cover, this is the cover for, Eyes of a Stranger. This was done by a professional cover artist. You know, I paid to have this done. Don't sing when I'm talking. Thank you. I paid to have this done. Molly Phipps, my cover artist, is amazing. She has skills that I can't even begin to contemplate, let alone possess. My work is not this, obviously. But in terms of something that I would, like, comfortably associate with my work and comfortably, like, expect people to be interested in, this is pretty decent. This is pretty much what I had in mind. So I'm pretty happy with this. And if we can get it just a little closer to completion, I will be happy to call it a stream and just finish it, do a little bit of finishing in some evening next week and just be ready to go with it. So yeah. The last time we did one of these covers, it did not go smoothly. Some of you may remember when we put this cover together, there was a lot of trying things that didn't work. There was a lot of throwing away ideas. There was a lot of, I'm not going to be able to figure out how to blend this in the way that I want to blend this, before we finally arrived at a working cover. So to have this one go so smoothly and turn out like so close to what I wanted it to look like from the start it feels really good. Like, oh, okay, this is a concept that I can actually do. So I just have to be, I think, a little bit more selective, choosing the hourglass the way that I did and having it blend so nicely and easily with the background. Right off the bat, I think that is what I really need to keep an eye out for in the future, because that's kind of where I stumbled in the first one. But I'm gonna go take a quick break, and then we're gonna do some more. I'm super excited. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm back. All right, got some steps in, got my coffee refreshed. Now the only problem I think we're gonna have is that I think if I just flashing Molly's work one more time. I think if I just grab this quick and dirty for testing, it's probably not going to be transparent. But that's okay because we can still test it. I will just make it. I will do a cheat to make it transparent just so we can test what it kind of looks like. So we can do a screen or we can do a... Let's see. No. Maybe we can just basically do this. Just give me some idea of... we transform and make it big, and we can basically do this, and I can basically have it come, I can have it come from that way. What I could also do, if we don't like the upward sweep of it, is we could do we could have it sweep that. We could have it sweep that way. That's what I meant to do, though. We could flip it vertically. And we could have it sweep up. Can basically rotate it any way that we want. I kind of want it to come... I kind of want it to fill this space. So we could do it that way even. I don't know why that just opened, but okay. Just to kind of get an idea of what it'll look like. Without the background. I think this will work. I think this will do what I want it to do. So I'm gonna delete this mess here. Phone dying, cover looking great. Have a great rest of stream. Sorry that your phone is dying, but thank you so much, Exiled Faye. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. Oops. That wasn't what I meant to do. We're gonna grab this. Why does it always play these weird ass? Some of the songs that Joe has on his list, I just don't know if I understand. Why is that not actually transparent? Did the person who made this image just like... Yeah, it gets everywhere. Sand. I'm just wondering if I save it as a ping, will that actually be transparent? Why? Why is this happening? If I go to my downloads. Can I re-download this as a vector? Will that fix it? Or would that cost me a separate credit? I've never had this problem before. Also, Nyx Flare, hello, hello. I see you. Oh, that wasn't transparent. That's why. Interesting. I don't still have the GIMP, unfortunately. Ruh-roh. 3 stream streak, Nyx Flare, thank you so much. Why? Hello, hello. I'm sorry. I thought I did say hi to you. I must have forgot. I was so intent on the making the sand joke that Ghost Pepper hates. Why? How's it going? How are you? I apologize. I seriously thought I said hi. I must have just, like, not remembered. Alright. How did I... There's a couple things we can try. I don't know if they're gonna work specifically with the grid there, but we'll try it. We'll fiddle around with it and see if I have to go make it transparent somehow. This feels like a failing of the image. Okay. Upload image. Alright, we're trying this. We're trying it. Please wait. Waiting. It's too big. Okay, hang on. It's too big. Let's, image size. Alright. Alright. Upload image. This one should be small enough. I'm working right now, actually trying to get through my backlog for once. Well, good luck. I hope it's going well. I hope you're enjoying our odyssey of removing a background image from... Background removed. Okay. Let's try it. Download. Okay. Do I have to create an account for this in order to do it? Just literally, okay. Try it again. Oh, here we go. Download. The wheel is spinning, you guys. Going through your backlog never goes well. It always looks bigger than it looks. I mean, as someone who has a bunch of stuff backlogged because I just took a week off, I get it. Alright, let's try this. I don't know what kind of mutated monster image we might have here. This is actually pretty good. Okay. Now, I get the impression there's still a little bit of background in there. There is, but we can hopefully deal with that. Kind of have to decide. I can have it coming out of the middle and going up the top. Well, I guess let's make it look nice first. Can actually just go kind of like this. Still not quite working quite the way I want it to work. So what I can actually do is kind of what we did with the... Something had to go horribly wrong, didn't it? It was just waiting. It was really just waiting to happen. It's really just waiting to happen. Well, I was trying to use a... Right now, I'm trying not to cry. Fell asleep at my desk, then again at the table. Oh, Tal. I hope you fall asleep in a comfortable place. I'm trying to... I wanted this to be transparent, but it's not. And I can't seem... I don't understand why the person who uploaded this, why it's not actually transparent. It seems so weird to me that it... that it showed as being a transparent image, but it's not actually a transparent image. I guess only the vectors are transparent, but it doesn't say that on the page, which is really annoying. Because I wouldn't have bought that image. I wouldn't have bought that image if I knew that. Hey Kiki, how's it going? Good luck with your day, Tal. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you get a nice solid map. A nice solid nap. Okay. I did not have this issue with the last thing that I did this with, but I don't think I can use that because it's not the same. I just don't understand the concept behind a stock photo site that won't let you download transparent backgrounds. If I downloaded... if I downloaded an image from this site, can I download any size? Or do I only have... I feel like it only lets you buy one of the images and not the entire image pack, which is kind of bogus. I have not run into this problem with this site before. Right now I'm reading Watchers by Dean Koontz. In the backlog for books is Misery, The Shining, The Tommyknockers, all by Stephen King. Nice! I've not read any of those. I know Ghost Pepper has read The Shining. I know what you mean, Kiki. I'm frustrated by something that is a thing that shouldn't be a thing. I shouldn't really have to deal with the fact that this background isn't actually transparent. It should be transparent. It doesn't really make sense that a site that offers like high quality stock photos just kind of shit the bed a bit on on this being a thing, but but everything went so perfectly up to this point. Like, of course there had to be something. Of course there had to be something. Whoops, that's not what I want. I actually think that looks better. Can't really do much on my computer because my computer is download a heavy software, but when I buy a new hard drive for it, nice. Yeah, I'm kind of lucky in that I inherit a lot of Ghost Pepper's, like as Ghost Pepper rebuilds his computer, I kind of inherit a lot of his stuff, his that he doesn't need anymore. And then, because he buys newer stuff, and then I get his older stuff, and it behooves me. I kind of really like that. I wish I could take that. Maybe I can take that and do an effect with it. I wonder. Halfway through Watchers, and I can recommend it so far. It does meander for a bit after the first 3 chapters, but it does pick up. So what type of, is it like a mystery? Is Dean Koontz mystery? I've not read a lot of Dean Koontz. I wonder if I, like, duplicate that. This is the part of the cover where we just fuck around until it does what I want it to do. I actually wonder... Hang on. I'm annoyed that I wasted a credit on that, but let's see. I wonder if it would just be easier to do. Something like... So if I can find something with a dark background... I just didn't realize that this wasn't going to be transparent. I wonder if it would work better if it didn't have the squares in the background. So annoyed. Suspense horror. Interesting. Not a genre I've read a lot of. No, I just want you to open. Thank you. Okay, cool. So it's something without the squares in the background do better. Yes, this would work better because then it won't have but it won't be the color that I want it to be. Let's just put a big square of gray in there. So if I were to do something like... No. I have to leave the lightness exactly the same, otherwise I'll... Well, do I? Yeah, I probably do. Otherwise I'll screw it up. That's more of like what I want it to do. It's more of like what I'm looking for. Alright, I hate to say it because I think I would need to spend another photo credit on this, but I might because this is closer to what I want it to do. This is much, much closer to what I want. In terms of, effects. Oh, but it annoys me. Oh, but it annoys me. Could also do it. Do it like that, or I could flip. Transform. Vertical. Oh, interesting. Could have it go like that. Have it look like that. I think what I'm trying to do, there we go, is make it look like that. I think that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, interesting. I could turn the saturation way up, and then I could do... I guess I should buy this. I guess I should buy this stock photo because it kind of does what I want it to do. It kind of does what I want it to do. Alright. Before I screw with it anymore. Alright. Very annoyed / frustrated that that didn't work, but this one will, so we'll get this one. I've been enjoying the thing I've been enjoying about Watchers is it's grounded in reality. Like, I can see what's happening in the book happening in real life. Nice! I like that. I even tried to make my fantasy not like super grounded in reality, but somewhat grounded in reality. What we're gonna do, even though it annoys me greatly, at least I know for the future, don't get anything with a squared background because it doesn't actually have a transparent background. But that's fine. We'll spend another photo credit. And we'll get this. And this will do what we want it to do. this is probably the one we're looking for, the one without the watermark. This is the one with the watermark. Yeah. Also, I don't need to have like 3 million copies of this. Okay. So I believe we basically wanted to have it like this. Oop, hang on. I want to drunkenly transform this thing. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. What have I done? OMG. I believe we basically had it sort of like that. Did I image horizontally? No. Or maybe I did, and then I sort of did it like this. There we go. That's how we had it. That's how we had it. Okay. Oops. And multiply it. Angel Faye, I don't know what you're talking about. When I use the free transform, it changes the size. It doesn't use the shift key. Also, it's the size that I want it. I was just drunkenly resizing it, that's all. Okay. So, do I want to do the vibrance first, or do I want to do the curves first? don't want it to be... I want it to be dark enough that you can see it on the cover, but I want it to also be like a little bit subtle. It's just pretty close to how I want it. Because then eventually what I want to do is I want to put some very light runes in it. Also might have the wind going behind the hourglass a bit. I'm not gonna erase all the particles in the front, and I'm not using full opacity, but I do kind of want the image in the hourglass to be mostly unclouded. That looks pretty good. That's pretty close to how I wanted it. And then sort of like with this one, I plan to put some light colored runes in there. I'm gonna take a quick break because I want to throw my lunch in the oven, which means we're almost near the end of stream, but I'm pretty happy with... That took some doing, but I'm pretty happy with how that looks. I could rotate it a bit. To rotate it a bit more. I rotated it the teeniest bit. I could shift the sand a bit more, but I'm pretty happy with... I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So the last thing I think I'm gonna do before we end stream is just try to put a little bit of sort of light effects inside. I'd really like to have some glowing lights. I actually think I deleted my extra hourglass layer too soon, but that's okay. Because I don't think I need it. I basically think I'm just gonna do some very light brush. Peter, thank you so much for 26 months. Biggity bongity here for Nothing Rhymes With This. Hey, that's okay. Welcome in, Peter. I'm just gonna pop AFK 1 minute here and pop my stuff into the... pop my lunch into the oven, and I'll be right back. I'm back. The fabulous Ghost Pepper picked me up some stuffed mushrooms at the store today since I had to go to the blood clinic, and I have popped them in the oven so that they will be ready at the end of stream. Heck yeah. Alright, so kind of want to just put some fairy lights. My blood is okay. They just need to check my thyroid levels, see what my thyroid is doing. They basically just need to check what my thyroid is doing and make sure it's behaving, pretty much. And so every couple of months, I gotta go in, I gotta go in and let them take some of my blood. And then, they tell me what it's doing. Angel Faye, good night. Thank you so much for hanging out. They basically tell me, what's going on with it and if we need to do anything. And then hopefully we don't. Hopefully we don't have to do anything. But we'll see. I usually just get an email back from my doctor, from my endocrinologist, and he's like, this is what your levels were. This is what your levels were, and this is how we feel about that. And then I'm like, okay, cool. And then hopefully I don't need to go back on, hopefully I don't need to go back on medication, but we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. So I'm basically just gonna take a brush. I'm gonna take a brush. I'm gonna make it a size. Not a huge size. Maybe 35. And maybe not at full opacity. Maybe at like 80. And we're just gonna kind of put some little glows in here. I'm just trying to make them sort of randomy. I should have done this on a different layer, actually. Hang on. You and your blood are so heckin' brave. My blood is a big coward, so when someone has brave blood, it's nice. Hey, my way of getting my blood taken is to close my eyes while they're doing it. So, I don't know how heckin' brave I consider my self or my blood, but, you know. Alright, we'll do this. We'll do this the correct way this time. If I remember correctly, we basically want to do, also want to go blending options. Actually, that looks kind of cool, but... Ooh, that looks kind of cool. So I'm basically trying to create this little fairy light effect. Which I really kind of like the pin light. It's sort of the one to beat. Although I like the soft light too. Because that's really subtle. The overlay looks super good too. And the color dodge. What I can actually do as well is turn down the opacity so that it's a very sort of subtle effect. Pin light was the other one I kind of liked. I think we might stick with the overlay. Light bulbs are either fairy size or big size. There seems to be no middle ground except those flame-shaped bulbs. That's true. Bulbs are either like ginormous or tiny. Let's see if we go around 70%. So we want there to be a marked like difference between it having I don't know that I like that. Can also fiddle with the vibrance and the saturation, although that doesn't do much. Might just leave it. They're supposed to be very subtle effects, so I don't want them to be too... I don't want them to stand out too much. Let's see. My brushes. Do I have a... that smaller. And can I go into these and give them just a very subtle... I need it to be bigger. Need it to be bigger. Ooh. Just a subtle little... I don't even know if you can tell the difference between that on the on the zoom out. Don't even know. I don't even know if that makes any difference, but just a subtle little glow in there. And then I basically just have my runes. So, before, Delta Flareon made us some very lovely rune-shaped brushes that I can go in and play around with. So the idea is sort of to take these little rune shapes and sort of stick them in here. So sort of like this. Obviously, I will blend these and make them look, you know, more like they go. But sort of to take these little shapes and stick them in here to sort of give you some idea of like what the final goal for making this, how we want to make this look. I might have to go slightly darker for some of these. But you can kind of get the idea. I don't know exactly how I'm going to blend them or how many of them I'm gonna put in there, but yeah. But I'll basically create little glowies for these. They sort of get like the inner glow sort of effect. I just to give you some idea. So it's not quite finished. I have to make the runes a little bit more subtle, but it's gonna be something like that. That's pretty close to finished. So I will probably play around a little bit more with the fairy lights and the runes in the dust. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we're going for. I'm gonna give that a save, and it should be just about time to eat my lunch. My lunch should be just about finished. So let's see who's around that we can raid. I'm pretty happy with that. I feel like, aside from the dust particles, which did not come together very well, I feel like that came together pretty easily. And this is our first cover here. You can kind of see. And then this is our second cover. So you can see how they have the same elements. We have like a background looking into a different background, and then we have some particle effects and some... So we have our background looking into a different background. We have some particle effects and magical runes. We have a program now that would make a glow in the glass. That would be amazing. Really, Conquest? Sure. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it today. Because obviously I want to blend the runes a bit more. They're just kind of stuck on there. But I will send it to you when I finish. I'll probably chip away at this in the evenings this week and next week to get it done. And yeah, I'm pretty, for someone who doesn't have a ton of Photoshop skills, I'm pretty happy with how that works, with how that looks. I'm going to play with the runes a bit more to make them a bit more glowy and a bit more, like to make them feel a bit less sort of tacked on to the final piece. But I'm pretty happy with this. Just needs some finishing effects. So hooray, the concept works. And I'm looking forward to doing the next one. But for now... Who is around? Let's not play myself double. who is doing the stuff and also potentially the things? And who have we not... Who have we raided recently and who have we not raided recently? I feel like we might head over to French Toast because we did not raid French Toast last week when we were crafting. And it looks like they are getting some work done today. So we will head over there, I think. I try not to raid the same people every day. Hello again, Tal. We're just getting ready to wrap up, but you can see very close to the end image. I just kind of threw the runes on there. Those aren't done yet. Pay no attention to how not done the runes are at this moment in time. But check it out. We got some effects on there. And this is basically what the cover will hopefully sort of look like when it's done. I'm pretty happy with it. It's not one of Molly's covers. It's never going to be one of Molly's covers, but it's pretty darn good. I'll post some of the new program effects in the Discord. Oh, that'd be super cool, Conquest. You probably have way more tools and knowledge than I do about this sort of thing. We are going to head over to say hey to French Toast OK. They are doing a chill no cam stream today. Looks like they've got some pommos going on. So if you are looking to get some work done, it's a good place to hang out. She is also a writer and she also does cross stitch in her breaks usually. Very cool place to hang out. I will be back to clicky clack tippy tap typing tomorrow. We're going to be doing edits on No One's Beloved Sister, the third book in this series. So check that out tomorrow. The Ducks will be back. We will be hanging with the Duck Boys tomorrow. And again on Thursday, we'll be editing the Aravalia Chronicles. And then we'll be hanging out with Ducks. We might start a new map. We might start a new Infinity Pool map and just respawn all the ducks and just see what antics they get up to. 10 a.m. Wednesday and Thursday. I was on time today. Heck yeah. Hopefully I'll be on time tomorrow. We'll see. Until then, please take care of yourselves. Let me actually start the raid. That would be... that would be a good idea. Maybe, potentially, the Duck Guys, the Duck Gals, the Duck Non-Binary Pals. Absolutely, they will all be here tomorrow. Or maybe only a few of them if we start a new map. But we will check that out tomorrow. And I will be doing edits again. This was super fun. Aside from the setback with the particles, the sand particles, I'm really happy with how that came together. I like how it looks. It feels visually interesting. It feels like it's taking up the whole space. It feels readable. It just needs some finishing. But I am gonna go eat the lovely stuffed mushrooms that my lovely husband Ghost Pepper got for me with a side of potato salad because I can. And I'm gonna get some more work done later this afternoon. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Please take care of yourselves. Remember to eat, drink, exercise, sleep, all that good stuff. And I hope that the creativity and the productivity flows for all of you. Until I see you again, take care, my friends.